Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday. How are you this Tuesday night? How is everybody doing? Tell me about your Tuesday this Tuesday night. What is happening in your world tonight? I want to know. What are you guys grateful for tonight? It is Tuesday, people. The sun was shining. The sun was shining in Massachusetts today. The sun was out. Hard to believe here in March that the sun was out, but it was great to see that. But tell me about your Tuesday. I don't know why I'm trying to skip the week. I've been there tonight, and so I've been Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. Pick a day. Pick a day. But tell me how you're doing tonight when you pick that day. I think we are broadcasting tonight on two platforms. We are on two platforms tonight, trying to fix all our audio stuff going on and our dropping. Hey, Adele and Dazzle, how are you tonight? Great to have you both here tonight. Hopefully we keep our connection solid tonight. We're testing two different broadcast methods. We're broadcasting live on YouTube and on Facebook, trying to figure out what's going on with our connection, with our microphones, everything. You know, I know the replay has been working well for a lot of people, but a lot of people watch us live too, and I don't want you to be having issues. Supposedly Facebook likes to bleep me or cut me out right when I'm saying something good. So we want to keep that all working. Well, I'm glad you're fine. Hey, Michelle, live. How are you? You all good? Last night I heard you were rocking it last night. Great to have you with us. Great to have you with us live. In Virginia, if we had sunshine in Massachusetts, it had to be like 75 in Virginia. Kitty's with us tonight. Hey, Kitty, great to have you here. Well, that's good. I'm glad the sound is working good. Kim in Texas, great to have you with us tonight live. What are you all grateful for tonight? Tell me about your day and what you're grateful for. That's what I want to know. 71 today, Michelle. That's awesome. That's awesome. That puts all the customers in a great mood. You know, I mean, it really does. And we had consigners galore today. Consigners galore were out there and about today, bringing us great spring merchandise. See, Kitty got a lot processed. We got a ton processed today. A lot of home decor processed today is what we got processed to the floor. I have another team working on clothing, and they're getting that. But you know, and the sales follow. You know, you work on all this, and that's the greatest thing about this industry. You know, being in the resale business, you work on it, you process some inventory, and you know, you get instantaneous results. You know, you get it out there, and you know, that register starts ringing. Those Jewish Christmas bells start ringing. And it is a nice thing. You know, when the sun went down, though, those temps dropped. You know, as we left work tonight, it did drop on the way home. But it was really nice and great to see the sunshine today. See that, and it's great to see all of you. Well, let's get this party started. Let's get this party. It is always the newest items. It is. They love the new items. Hey, Kelly, how are you tonight? Great to have you with us. We're testing new. My tech team has been working all day. I didn't know. Hey, Suzanne. Gin and tonic tonight, Suzanne. To you and MJ. Oh, I love when great new consigners recommend us to their friends. That is awesome. Well, everybody, as I mentioned, we are testing things tonight. We're trying. My tech team's been working all day. Thank you to my peanut gallery. I came home and they're like, I'm getting ready to come on tonight, and they're like, "Are you ready to be hooked up and done?" And they've got me. Multiple connections. So we're broadcasting tonight to both Facebook and YouTube live. This is really, they're trying different things. Oh, it's so great to see you, Suzanne and MJ. Well, I'm glad the sound is much clearer. That is great to hear, and hopefully the connection stays at all the good parts, especially when I'm funny. I don't want this dropping when I'm funny. And live comments on both YouTube and Facebook. I don't know that I can keep track of two things, but we're testing this out. I am blessed to have people behind me. I remember when I was the tech guy, but I've got people behind me that are trying to make this good. I mean, I remember when I still very vividly remember when my father's first computer got delivered to the pharmacy. And oh, Michelle, I'm just funny looking. I got a nice shade of blue though on too. I know you like my blues too, my blues and my reds. But I remember when my father, the first computer he got for his pharmacy, which came in the 80s, so sometime in the 80s, probably mid 80s when he bought this thing, it came via FedEx on pallets. So it came on pallets in the mid 80s to run his pharmacy. And it was the smallest lady that delivered it for FedEx, delivering these pallets. And he's like, "Okay, let's open the box. Let's go. Let's start this up. Can we fill some prescriptions this afternoon with it?" Needless to say, we were not live that day or any time shortly thereafter. But, it was, an experience. So I used to be the tech guy. Now I have people. So it's good to have people. It's good to have people. Well, let's get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. That's how we start this program every night. Every night we start in the Good Morning, Good Night book. Tonight, if you're following along in the book, we are on page 198. 198 tonight. Good morning. Pain, joy, frustration, euphoria, everything. It all passes. It all keeps moving. Wherever you are is temporary. Let's go. Oh, it is good to have everybody here tonight. There's lots happening. All eyes are on Congress and pushing the bill through, getting this $1.9 trillion out into the economy. And ultimately, it's a good thing, okay? I can't stress enough how important this is, not only to the U.S. economy, but to the world. I mean, this is important to main streets, back roads, but the American economy, as the American economy goes, so does the world economy. And, we're building back a better store. You're all building back a better store, and we're building a stronger team. So, this money that's coming out into the economy, that is $1 trillion with a T, Michelle. It's the new thing in government. Let's just, $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. It's almost like it isn't real money. There'll be some reports out tomorrow on bond yields going up because it's going to cost the government a little bit more to borrow. Ultimately, it is more important that we put more gas on the economy right now than less. To come out of this strong, to come out of this really, really strong, it is more important that we put more gas on this than less. And, just a symbol of that gas will be the $1,400 checks, okay, for adults plus kids. I mean, some families are going to get about $5,000. Some families are going to get $5,000 in the mail. And that's huge. Okay, that's huge. That is going right back out. That is going right back out into your local economy. That is going to help people. That is going to help stores. They are going to spend it. This money will start arriving next week. Those direct deposits, the IRS, Treasury, Janet. So I mean, this is going to go smooth now. This is going to run smooth because a woman is running this. Okay, this money is going to get out there quickly. Is one cookie, that Janet Yellen, and this money is going to get out there quickly and going to help a lot of people, and it's going to help your stores. It's going to help stores, and that is huge. Oops. I thought this was entertaining. Okay, I mean, did you guys hear about yesterday? I don't know if you heard about this promotion gone wrong. Anybody know what company this is? They started with a series of advertising tweets, okay, yesterday for International Women's Day yesterday. International Women's Day. Women belong in the kitchen. That was their first tweet. Okay, women belong in the kitchen was this company's first tweet yesterday on International Women's Day. That was their first tweet yesterday. I heard this and I was like, it is 2021, isn't it? It is 2021. Yeah, that was their first mistake. And it only went downhill from there, Kitty. It only went downhill from there. Their follow-up tweet was, if they want to, of course. Yet only 20% of chefs are women. We're on the mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by empowering female employees with the opportunity to pursue a culinary career. Hashtag International Women's Day. Yes, Burger King. Yes, Burger King did this, Kelly. I mean, it's ridiculous. Their third tweet was, we are proud to be launching a new scholarship program which will help female Burger King employees pursue their culinary dreams. I mean, can you say whopper of a fail? I mean, what a failure that was. I mean, I understand where their thought was, but really? I mean, really? I mean, there is the year that this is a true story. There was a year that I wrapped up a mop bucket, a mop, and a broom for Cassandra and her mother. I think maybe it was a Mother's Day gift. Okay, and in the bottom of the bucket, I had a thing that I hired a maid. Okay, so I thought I was being funny. Again, I'm not really very funny. I had the mop and the bucket all wrapped up and the broom, and but I at least hired a maid for the house as a gift to them to help with the house. Not my cup of tea, and even that was really borderline. That was really borderline with that. The maid part was nice, okay, but that was a borderline thing. This thing that Burger King did, women belong in the kitchen, is just way backwards, way backwards. You can't help stupid sometimes. There's lots of good things happening out there. Let's take a look. I like Simon's quote today. Don't look a gift made in the mouth. And exactly, Kitty. Microwave burgers, a culinary future, and making microwave burgers taste different, I guess, is the thing. Our quote tonight from Simon Sinek: our greatest test might not come from the path we travel to success. Our greatest test is what we do with success once we find it. Stitch Fix swings to a loss with as inventory piles up. Stitch Fix on Monday said that second quarter net revenue rose 12% year over year to $504 million, as net revenue per active client fell 7% to $467. Results that missed its own and some analysts' expectations. The number of active clients rose by 408,000 to nearly 3.9 million. In part due to shipping delays and higher freight costs. Yes, shipping costs money, people. Shipping costs money. The retailer swung to a $21 million loss from an $11.4 million income a year ago. Stitch Fix is one of the ones that continues to be purely online. They have not, much to analysts' chagrin. Now, this is very interesting. The analysts are telling Stitch Fix, you need to get your acting gear and you need to open brick and mortar stores. So the guys with all the money, the guys that are giving them money are saying, you morons need to open brick and mortar stores to be successful and profitable. But they have inventory piling up like a lot of clothing retailers do. And their algorithms aren't helping that. So that was really interesting with that. So, I mean, it's just, again, brick and mortar, brick and mortar, brick and mortar. You know, no matter how much people want to tell you about it online, brick and mortar, people. People want the IRL, the in real life experience that only you can give. This was interesting. Dick's Sporting Goods, and I know we don't have a lot of sporting good retailers that nightly, but this is interesting. But the retailer is warning of a slowdown, of a possible slowdown. The Dick's Sporting Goods posted a record 9.9% increase for the full fiscal 2020, while the retailer doubled its digital sales as consumers shifted their activities and shopping methods during the pandemic. In the fourth quarter alone, comps increased 19.3%, pushing sales to more than $3.1 billion. E-commerce sales were up 57%. The company's outlook for 2021 is not as bright, with comp sales estimates estimated to grow 2% on the high end or decline 2% on the low end. You know, they cite that 2021 is hard to calculate, but they also cite, you know, the economy opening up as problematic for their business. You know, that sectors that saw, the analysts are saying sectors that saw the boom, home goods, leisure wear, outdoor equipment, may not see that same boom as other parts of the economy open up, including gyms and fitness centers. So that they may not have growth because people are spending their money elsewhere. They're spending their money on clothing to look good, so they can peacock. So you can see how great I look. You want to see how great I look, so you can peacock when we see each other in person. Okay. And, you know, these things. So it is important, you know, that this is going to be a shifting year, and it may be a shifting second half. Hey, Jen, how are you tonight? Great to have you here. Gin and tonic tonight. But as that's happening, there are going to be market shifts. Okay, so the winners of last year may not be the winners of this year. That doesn't mean they're going to go to heck. Okay, but instead of having a 10% growth, Dick's saying they might be down 2% this year. They might be up a little bit too, but they're saying they might finish the year down 2%. And you got to keep in mind when even though they're giving an earnings call about what happened last quarter, okay, and how the year finished, they already have forward knowledge. They already know what's happened in January. It's March 9th, okay? They know what their sales are through yesterday. So they know what they're talking about when they give that kind of guidance. Okay, it's not like they're just picking that out of the air. Okay, they aren't just saying, "Oh, where am I going to get that number from?" They're actually coming up with that from somewhere. And in this case, when they make those statements, even though they're talking about last quarter, they're talking about it from the perspective of, okay, they already have 60-something days of this year in the books, so they kind of know what they're talking about as more things are opening up. You know, I talked last night about retail imports growing, and I got some numbers on that today. And it's expected to grow dramatically during the first half as increased vaccinations and continued in-store safety measures allow in-store shopping options. The Global Port Tracker report is now estimating 2.06 million 20-foot equivalent containers. So 20-foot containers. Well, I'm glad most people are good. I'm sorry for seeing me frozen. I'll try to move around a little bit. So 2.06 million 20-foot containers in January, but is a 13% year-over-year increase. And the busiest January since the National Retail Federation, our friends there at the National Retail Federation, began tracking imports in 2002. And the first month it has ever topped the 2 million mark. Okay, so 2 million 20-foot containers, 2 million 20-foot containers. Just to give you a demand than half of a semi. Okay, a semi truck on the road is normally 53 feet long. So just to give you some useless guy info on that. So this is really good. This is merchandise coming in, but it may not be the right. Yes, Kelly, that is a good point. Would that include on time? Yes, it would. So there is a delayed holiday effect there because you have that, and you also have, is this the right merchandise that retailers need for an economy that is starting to open? Again, you have to keep in mind, regardless of the science, the virus is still real. I talked about it last night. The virus is real. The virus doesn't know we're coming up on the anniversary. Okay? The decisions that are being made right now about reopening are much more a political decision. Okay, that people are really, really tired of restrictions. And we all are, okay? But that doesn't change the reality of where we are with the virus. Okay, we are better than where we were a couple months ago, but the virus is still with us, okay? And the reopening of the economy and people getting out there, as long as you're taking good safety precautions, I mean, there, but the virus is still very, very real. I can't stress that enough. I can't stress that enough, that the virus is very, very real. Um, you know, the so you just need to keep that in perspective with things, and that a lot of the things that were ordered that were on container ships that arrived in January and February were not things that were ordered when the economy was expected to be opening this soon. I mean, a lot earlier, they were talking late fourth quarter. Because the vaccines are hitting out earlier, and that's going to change the things people want to buy. Okay, but that's the great thing about being in the resale industry. Your supply chain isn't overseas. Your supply chain is local. Your supply chain is local and is hitting you every day, bringing you great things. To keep that moving. You want to keep that moving. In other good news, a rent deal, a rent control deal will keep all the Ann Taylor, Loft, and Lane Bryant stores open in Simon Malls. The that bought Ascena Group had been seeking rent relief from Simon on all the Ann Taylor, Loft, and Lane Bryant stores that are in Simon Properties. The relief offered didn't meet their conditions, and they had threatened to close all those stores as part of the bankruptcy, which Simon obviously objected to. But they have now come to terms where they got rent relief that was sufficient. Numbers have not been disclosed, but it's substantial. Okay, and those stores will remain open. And that's a good thing for the economy. It's a good thing for the flow of goods. It's a good thing for keeping people employed. It is a good thing, okay? And it continues to show that there is pressure on landlords to make deals with tenants, to keep tenants viable, okay? The tenants in retail did not cause this pandemic. And you don't want to have to remanufacture all your malls, all your strip malls, and everything else. You want to keep people in there. You want to keep strong businesses in there, or at least help them be strong, help them have a fighting chance. And so that is a good thing. The PPP. So let's talk government here for a second, a little bit more. There's a lot of mixed messaging going on right now with the PPP. The PPP is still available till the end of the month. A lot of loans have been caught up on hold, especially during this last 2-week period where things weren't getting processed the same way. They were trying to do a lot of Schedule C filers. Even if you have a smaller company that has under 20 employees, a lot of things were getting gummed up in the works with this. And there's a lot of companies that are still gummed up in the works with this. So it's open to all companies again starting tomorrow, okay, which is a good thing. And they are working hard to get the loans out and get the money out. Now, something confusing in the news is, the Fed extends PPP facility through June 30th. Well, that's really we're funding loans that were already in process. There has not been a loan extension past March 31st. So you do need to have your application in if you have not already applied for your first or second PPP. And if you got your first PPP, you can be applying for a second PPP, making the certification that you have used or will use all of your first PPP for allowable expenses. That's important. Okay, but there is a push on Congress. Congress is pushing the SBA, and they're actually looking for an additional rule change. So for all of you that already got it, but are a Schedule C filer that would have benefited new math that the SBA has allowed, there is a push by members of Congress, several powerful members, including Ben Cardin of Maryland, who actually pushed for the second PPP. Him, Gene Shaheen, and a few others were big on the push for there to be a second PPP and helped write the rules for the second PPP. They're pushing that, hey, this isn't fair what you did to people. Would have gotten more to help their economy, to help their community, to help their employees, had they gotten one under the new rules. And I know several of you that I've worked with, okay, that some of the math is some of the math on the that I've seen is PPPs that you might have gotten a $5,000 PPP, but with the new math, you might get a $15,000 or $20,000 PPP. So it is real. So that they find an administrative solution to this. Okay, currently the SBA stance is if you already got it, it's a done deal. But there is mounting pressure for them to go back and open these up again. And so I am hopeful that they do that. Yes, Kelly's question, the PPP is time sensitive, but will I revisit and walk us through the ERTC? Yes, I will be revisiting. The PPP is absolutely time sensitive. The Employee Retention Tax Credit, the ERTC, is not time sensitive. You have up to 2 years after you paid the tax to get the ERTC. And that's from the time that you paid the tax to claim the ERTC. So it is not time sensitive. So I haven't been talking about it, but yes, I'm going to do a whole walkthrough on the ERTC. And I'm going to walk through a 941X and actually step through filling one out with you and make an example of that. That is on my list over there, right over there, right over there. So that we make up one and you follow it through and work the whole mock-up on it. So that is most definitely on my list, Kelly. Do not. I have not forgotten, and we'll do it. But it's not time sensitive from a government perspective. But I know it is sensitive because the money makes a big difference to people. I mean, if you had that money, that would make a big difference. You know how much that would make a difference for people. It'd make a difference for me too. So we will do that. We'll walk through the whole 941X. I have that on my list. The other big thing I have is the folder. And walking through and doing up a complete checklist of what should be in your folder, because that's a growing thing. A lot of people are being handed PPP forgiveness forms, and people are saying, oh, just sign it and say you used it all for payroll because you don't have to give any paperwork. That's technically true, but it's all subject to audit, and you better have the paperwork that adds up to that if you were audited. Okay? I want you to have all that paperwork, everything all lined up. And it's especially important to very carefully fill that out if you're also eligible for the ERTC. If you're eligible for that ERTC, it is so important that you accurately fill out that, because the PPP forgiveness application locks you in, okay? And no matter what your bank is saying, you have from 10 months after the end of your forgiveness, after the end of your period that you use the PPP to apply for forgiveness before they can charge you a payment, okay? Your bank can't make you do the forgiveness application right now. So, for many of you that got the first PPP late, that's the end of the year. That's 10 months from the end of the year. So, pressure of somebody else's timeline in getting this done. You're your own thermostat. You're your own timeline. That's what I'm telling you. That is what I am telling you. Be your own timeline on that. So that is what I am encouraging there. I feel like I had so much more tonight. I do have more, but there's always more. This video and everything that I cover here, this video and everything that I talk about here goes over to narts.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you. It goes over to narts.org. That's where you find all the files, all the videos, everything. A direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you comment, subscribe, and yes, you can ring the bell. Ring the bell so that you know when a new one drops. I will get with you, Sylvia, on the restrictions in Virginia. I got your email in my inbox to follow up on. I will circle back with you on that, Sylvia. I will not forget you. I've got you right over on my desk. Gonna have some desk time tomorrow, actually. See some hopefully some time over there to get some stuff done. Get caught up on things. You can also share narts.org/resale strong with all your friends in business. Butcher, baker, candlestick maker. We want to help everybody. Everybody get across the finish line here. We want everybody to get across the finish line. Doesn't matter what their business is. We're going to help them through. I am here every night in the Narts private Facebook group at More 8 Than Ish. More 8 Than Ish live in the Narts private Facebook group. That's where you find me. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. That's where we start the program. If you're not here at the top of the program, our Good Morning tonight on page 198 is Good Morning, Pain, Joy, frustration, euphoria, everything. It all passes. It all keeps moving. Wherever you are is temporary. Let's go. Our good night tonight is good night, rage, bliss, fatigue, rapture. Whoa. It all passes. It all keeps moving. Where you are is fleeting. Good night. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even, a $1.9 trillion bill signing. I don't know where we're going to party again, when we're going to party again, but when we do, I will be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at More 8 Than Ish, More 8 Than Ish, you and you, but most importantly you, yes you. You're not alone running this store. I'll see you all tomorrow night. It's time for dinner. Have a great night.